All right, welcome to The Explainer. You know, if you're looking for a real escape, a world you can actually discover with your family instead of just scrolling through another streaming service, then you are in exactly the right place. We are about to open a portal to Neopolii, a world literally reborn from the ashes of our own, and it is filled with strange new powers and some seriously forbidden beauty. Wow, this quote just drops you right into the mystery of this world, doesn't it? There are ideas, there are truths so beautiful and so powerful that this group, known as the censors, will kick you out of society for even talking about them. It just makes you wonder, right? What could possibly be so incredible that it has to be silenced?
So to even begin to unravel a mystery like that, we have to understand what makes this world tick. And it all starts with this unique kind of energy that, believe me, changes absolutely everything.
Okay, so at the very heart of this new world is this fundamental energy called orgone. Now, the earliest people called it ether, but our civilization, and get this, they call us the ancients. We were completely oblivious to it. We had no idea it was even there. Its discovery is what changed the game. The people of Neopolii can gather and even create orgone, letting them build technology that to us would look like a straight-up miracle.
And just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here, forget telescopes. Imagine technology so immense, so powerful, that it lets you gaze upon other realities, other worlds. This isn't just about waving magic wands. This is a place where science, mysticism, and a kind of cosmic awareness have all just blended together into one.
All right, so that's some pretty cosmic stuff. Let's bring it back down to Earth for a second. To really get our bearings in this new civilization, we need to know the where and the when. I mean, where did all of this even come from?
Picture this. Our story takes place a full 1,000 years after the Great Calamities, basically a series of disasters that ended our civilization as we know it. We're in the year 3090, and we're standing on the continent that we once called North America. And this is what that continent looks like now. It's this whole patchwork of new territories and new powers. Scattered all across this completely transformed landscape are these city-states they call the Neopolii, which literally just means new cities, and they are built directly on top of the ruins of the world that we left behind.
And this is what's so fascinating to me. This new world is literally built on the foundations of our own. You can see the echoes of our past everywhere. I mean, look at this. New Orchard, one of their biggest hubs, it rises from the ruins of the New York metro area. Gabriel stands right where Los Angeles used to be. And Juris Prima, their center of law and government, built on the remains of Washington, D.C. It's incredible.
Okay, so who runs this place? It's not as simple as a king or a president. No, power here is held in this really delicate and sometimes pretty tense balance between three very different groups.
Society is run by what's called the trinarchy. Think of it like a three-legged stool. You've got the warlords. They're the muscle, the military might. Then you have the high priests. They handle the spiritual stuff, the moral compass. And those censors we mentioned? Yeah, they work for the priests, deciding which ideas are safe and which are forbidden. And finally, you have the magi, the masters of orgone and ancient knowledge. All together, their job is to protect everyone inside the city walls from the dangers lurking outside. And this illustrates that balance of power perfectly. On the one side, you have the symbol for metalworking. That's the tangible, physical power of the warlords. But on the other, you have the scales of law. That represents the intellectual and spiritual authority of the magi and the high priests. One is power you can hold in your hand, and the other is power you have to understand with your mind. But here's the thing. As powerful as the trinarchy is, they are not the ultimate authority. Not even close. Above them, watching over the cycles of life and history and creation itself, is an entire pantheon of gods. These are the major circadian gods, and they basically govern the rhythms of life. Each one is tied to a month of the year and represents a huge core concept. And it all begins, pretty fittingly, with time, the god for January. He kind of sets the clock for everything else that happens in their civilization.
So as you move through the year, you get other gods who are just as essential. For example, here's Harvest, the god for September. I mean, you can imagine how crucial this deity is for their survival. No harvest, no food, no anything.
But what's really cool is that these gods don't just cover physical needs. They also represent the cornerstones of culture. This is the god for writing, tied to October. Just imagine a society that worships the divine force behind passing down knowledge, laws, and stories from one generation to the next. That's just amazing.
Okay, so we've seen the world, we've seen the rules, we've seen the rulers. Now, let's see it all through the eyes of someone who is just starting to figure out how huge and how mysterious this world truly is.
So let me introduce you to Jalen of Selenia. He's a young guy, just starting his journey, but this quote tells you pretty much everything you need to know about him. He is not a passive observer. He's absolutely determined to shape his own reality in this massive, complicated world.
And this is where we really come full circle. Jalen's journey takes him to places of profound, maybe even forbidden knowledge. You know, the kind of beautiful, dangerous truth that the censors are so desperate to suppress. He experiences things that are so transformative, they're literally beyond the understanding of anyone who hasn't seen what he's seen.
The Neopolii saga offers this truly gigantic world to explore, and it's just the perfect story to get lost in together as a family. It's an invitation to put down the remote, pick up a story, and start your own journey of discovery. And it leaves you with one simple but really profound question. In a universe with infinite possibilities, where will you begin?